Hey everyone, welcome to the Bomb WAN part of the Chameleon Twist tutorial series. Let's get right into it. Bomb WAN has a couple of pieces that are pretty tricky to it, but overall this level's pretty easy to learn. For the first room here, where these swaying bombs are, if you run up to it while they're swaying that way, you can jump straight across to here. And then, you can make this corner jump like this. That jump can be a little tricky, and when this guy zooms at you from when you jump over, you want to grab him for the next room. This next room is the first instance of something that we call shot buffering. Basically, while entering this room, you want to hold B or Z to buffer a shot. That will cause the Chameleon to shoot it on the first frame possible. However, you want to make sure that you're holding neutral on your control stick, so that it's not trying to aim it in any particular direction. For instance, if I try to aim it towards where the block is while entering this room, it shoots the bomb off into this direction. Shot buffering is a little weird like that, so you'll just have to memorize the angles you need for the different shot buffers in the game. Now, once that block is destroyed that was right here, then you want to run up and grab these two so you can bring them into the next upcoming rooms. In the first pillar room, there's two strategies. You can either shoot this block here or that one there. If you shoot the closer one, it is a little bit easier to jump to. However, it's a little bit slower. You can also shoot this one, and you can make that jump there. And it's a little bit more tricky. If you jump too early here while the block is still falling, it can block your jump. So you want to make sure that the block is settled before you try to jump to it. In either case, you want to have one bomb entering the next room. And for this one, you're going to do a straight up shot buffer. That will cause the missile to give you a small platform here. This is much less helpful on the English version, which I'm on currently, because if you spin immediately, this bomb will be in your way and you have just this tiny sliver of an area to stand. But you'll be able to do a tongue vault up to here. On the Japanese version, this guy is further back. If for some reason you've messed up, make sure you run to about this line, a little bit past it, and you can just take a damage boost here, and wherever one leaves, do a pole vault from there. That pole vault can be a little bit tight, especially for beginner players, so if you want to, you can just run over to here and do a neutral vault up, and that will take you straight up here as well. It's just a little bit slower. Here's what this room looks like on the Japanese version of the game. As you can see, that's the first bomb there, and it's a lot further back, leaving you a lot more space to do this. In the next room, you're going to do a neutral B input, so you can grab that pole first thing. Just spin around to make it over to here, and that's all that room is. In this room, there's going to be a couple of strategies. In either case, you want to run up here first thing and grab this missile. Shoot it at this floor bomb to reveal the circle which opens the door. Strategy 1 is to run to about here so the missile on the left side will come after you, and grab it. You'll be taking it into the next room and the room after that. However, the other strategy is to run up here and grab this cannonball. The cannonballs are RNG as to where they're firing, so you'll need to, this is much riskier, and sometimes it's not possible. In either case, you'll be taking it into the next room. If you're doing the first strategy, I find it much easier to run along the back wall, because you can easily avoid the bombs by jumping around them, and that way you don't have to worry so much about the RNG. One other thing to note is that these cannonballs on the English version have a slightly larger explosion radius, so you can get caught off guard a lot easier there. Whether you grabbed the cannonball or the missile, you want to shoot it into this block here. After that, the strategy varies depending whether you're on the English version or the Japanese version. For the English version, you want to grab this missile here because it's the only one, and you'll shoot this pillar again. That lowers it so you can make it to the second platform. After that, you want to make a kind of curve shape here so that you can grab this missile and also clank your tongue on this pillar. After that, you'll shoot the pillar. However, if you're very quick, you can make that shot immediately. Once you make it up to here, you want to grab those two missiles just like that. That can be a very, very tricky strat, and if you don't do it quickly, those missiles will move, which is why I did it so quickly there. To show you again, it looks kind of like that. You can do the same thing here where you have shot this pillar immediately while you're still falling. That's even harder to do, but you definitely want to do a Z shot here, because a B shot will only break one. After you've hit this twice, you can jump up to here and then move on. For the Japanese version of the pillar room, there's two strategies. Either way, you want to hit that first, and then grab this one guy at the straight down. He's the closest one. For the first strategy, you want to grab this guy here because that one won't have respawned yet, and he's closer to making this jump, and move forward. Hit the third pillar, and when you get here quickly, these two will be in about that position, and you can do the same strategy of hitting two pillars, or two bombs to hit the pillar twice, and then you can move on. The other strategy is a damageless one, where you hit that and grab this guy like usual. However, you grab both of these missiles and move forward. You'll hit that, and then hit the next one, still grabbing these two. Hit it one more time, jump across, and you'll be entering the room with one missile. If you're doing the strat where you're bringing a missile in here, make sure that you do a straight up buffer again here, and it'll land the missile right where you are. This isn't very effective in the US version as it is in the Japanese version where I showed that strat, but technically you could bring a missile in here if you wanted to. It's definitely slower though. In this lava room in particular, you want to stand slightly behind the line instead of slightly in front of the line. They're just a little bit different spacing. If you did the strat where there's ground here, then land on that. Otherwise, just run up here and do your pole vault like usual. And again, if you are having trouble with getting the pole vault off in time or you're missing it, then just go over to here and make that jump up with the block easier. This room is called the bomb room, and that's because up here it says bomb. In this room there are two strats. The first one is to just run around the room like it's any other room. The second strat is notably one of the most difficult strats from the 2013 or 2014 era of speedrunning of this game. It was debatably the hardest trick in the run. So basically you want to skip over all that by jumping from corner to corner here. It looks kind of like that. However, the jump is a lot trickier than it appears. When you attempt this jump, the camera's turning on you, so you need to adjust the control stick as you go. The motion of the control stick, as you can see on your right, looks sort of like that. You want to go from the down left notch to reach the corner, sort of up to the up left notch. It's not quite exactly that, and you definitely need to get a feel for it before really attempting this jump and runs. It is much more difficult than it appears. This next room is called the XO room because underneath of these there are little symbols of X and O. There are three strategies for this room. One is the intended strategy. You need to blow the pillar up, and then you need to wait on a bomb to walk over here. Once it does, you can hit it, and you get either an X or an O. These are completely random. The bomb's movement is terrible. And as you can see here, I would have gotten a third try, and this was extremely slow. However, there is another strategy, which is much easier and still beginner-friendly, where you grab 2 missiles, get pretty close to it, and shoot at a little bit of an angle, and you will blow up one missile off the other and unlock the underneath of this. Like that. This strategy is harder on the English version. For some reason, the bomb hitboxes are a little bit different. That time it was here. But once you unlock the O, the door opens. The other strategy here is to do another door clip. Both methods are usable for it. The timing is a little bit different than the Jungle Land door. And if you're going for this, you need to hold up into the door as you get it. This door will push you back out if you're not holding into it. If you're going for this door clip, this bomb can spawn from here and ruin your day. I'd only recommend going for that door clip if you're going for absolute top level times. It is very difficult and only saves about a second or two over the best try or the first try RNG. Next is the second cannon room. There's 2 strategies here as well. The first one is to go to about the 4th platform and jump over to this little ledge. That'll save you some troubles of RNG. Then you can walk forward and go to the next room. Or if you want to try your luck and save a little over a second, you can run straight through. That's very RNG based. The cannons can just decide to kill you, especially in the English version. The next room also has 2 strategies. You want to run up to about the crown, turn around, and do a circle tongue to grab those 4 guys, and then quickly shoot those 4 bombs, one of which was over here, very quickly. Let me go back and I can show you where they were. Do that a little slower. So you're coming up here and you're grabbing the 4 guys. Shooting here and here and here are pretty easy to follow. You don't want to do the side-by-side ones because sometimes your explosions will hit off each other. But then this guy is over here, and he's definitely the hardest one to hit. A lot of times you'll shoot over top of him. If you do that, you can generally shoot almost directly to the left with that guy. He's been moving around since we've loitered in this room too long. But generally he's around that area. The other strategy is yet another door clip. This one again is only recommended for experts, and it has an even different timing, and it's a lot later. Again, you'll need to hold up to make it through the door. It's also worth noting that in the Japanese version of the game, there are power-ups, and when you grab this, it'll freeze all the enemies, allowing you to have an easier time with this door clip. So let's get into the boss. The boss is different within the 2 versions. So the US version, you're going to want to do it like this. You go up, you grab 1 bomb, wait for him to drop 3, shoot him in the tail, grab those 3, shoot him with those 3, grab those 3, even the one off screen, and then shoot him with those 3. We call that the 1-3-3. We had also previously done a 1-3-2-1, but the 1-3-3 is definitely the fastest strat in the English version of the game. The Japanese version of this boss is quite a bit faster, which is one of the reasons the Japanese version of the game is faster, but he also moves faster, drops bombs faster, and they explode faster. So you want to run to the left, jump over his tail, and then grab 7 bombs. Then as he gyrates back out, shoot him and you will one-shot him. This boss can be quite a bit tricky at first and takes a lot of practice, so I'd like to show you a backup strat if you start missing some of the bombs being picked up at the beginning. That quick turn right there is a little bit easier than it looks, and it doesn't lose very much time. It's definitely worth going for. If you miss the bombs at the beginning because they explode, you really just need to do the fight naturally and just hit him when you can. That's it for Bombland. A good beginner split time here is around 3 to 3.5 minutes, and a great top level time is anywhere under sub 210. In the description below, you'll see a link to the tutorial playlist, as well as a link to the Discord server and the speedrun.com page. Be sure to join the Discord server, we're always happy to help new players. Also be sure to give this video a thumbs up, a comment, and subscribe so that this video is easier for other people to find. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next part.